Welcome to the Daily English Learning Podcast.
Hello to all our dedicated language learners around the world. Welcome to a very special episode of the Daily English Learning Podcast. I am your host, Olivia, and today we are starting a brand new series focused entirely on phrasal verbs. Joining me, as always, is my brilliant co-host, Martin.
Hello, everyone. I am excited about this new direction. Phrasal verbs are notoriously difficult for English learners because they often don't follow logical patterns. A single verb like get can combine with different prepositions to create dozens of completely different meanings. Today, we are going to decode the mysteries of get phrasal verbs, which is arguably the most important verb family in English.
That is absolutely right. According to corpus linguistics research, get combinations appear more frequently in spoken English than almost any other phrasal verb group. We use them constantly in daily conversation, often without even realizing it. In this episode, we will explore the most common get phrasal verbs, explain their meanings, and give you plenty of real-life examples.
We will organize them into categories like daily routines, relationships, health, and work situations. By the end of this episode, you will feel much more confident using these essential expressions. So, let's get started. See what I did there? That is our first phrasal verb already.
Let's begin with the get phrasal verbs that describe our daily routines. The most basic one is get up, which means to wake up and get out of bed. For example, I usually get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Martin, are you an early riser, or do you struggle to get up?
I am definitely not a morning person. I hit the snooze button multiple times before I finally force myself to get up. There is a related phrasal verb, get out of bed, which is more literal and emphasizes the physical action. You could say, I couldn't get out of bed this morning because I was so tired. The opposite is get into bed, which means to climb into bed to sleep.
After you get up, you need to get dressed, which means to put your clothes on. For example, it takes me 20 minutes to get dressed in the morning. The opposite is get undressed, meaning to take your clothes off before a shower or before bed. These are very practical everyday phrases.
Another morning routine verb is get ready, which means to prepare yourself for something. I need an hour to get ready before work, means you need time to shower, eat breakfast, and mentally prepare. When you leave the house, you get going or get moving, which both mean to start your journey or activity. For example, we should get going or we will be late.
And when you return home, you get back, which means to arrive back at a place. What time did you get back from the office yesterday? Or if someone borrowed something from you, you can say, I need to get my book back from Sarah.
Get is heavily used for movement and transportation. When you enter a car, bus, or taxi, you get in or get into. For example, get in the car quickly, it is raining. When you exit a vehicle, you get out or get out of. We got out of the taxi at the train station.
However, with larger vehicles like buses, trains, and planes, we use different prepositions. You get on a bus or train, and you get off when you exit. For example, I get on the subway at King's Cross and get off at Oxford Circus. This is a common mistake for learners who might say, get in the bus, which sounds unnatural to native speakers.
Absolutely. Another useful one is get to, which means to arrive at a destination. How do I get to the museum from here? Or in past tense, we finally got to the hotel after driving for 5 hours. There is also get away, which means to escape or leave a place, often for a holiday. I need to get away from the city for the weekend and relax.
And if you travel without a specific destination just for pleasure, you get away. People often say, let's get away for a few days, meaning let's take a short vacation.
Now let's explore get phrasal verbs related to relationships. One of the most important is get along or get on in British English, which means to have a good relationship with someone. Do you get along with your coworkers? If the answer is yes, it means you are friendly and work well together.
The opposite would be to not get along or to have conflicts. You might hear someone say, my sister and I don't get along very well. We argue all the time. Another relationship verb is get together, which means to meet socially. Let's get together for coffee next week is a friendly invitation.
When two people start a romantic relationship, they get together. For example, when did you and your partner get together? Means, when did you start dating? Unfortunately, relationships don't always work out. If a couple separates, We say they get divorced, or simply break up, though break up is more informal.
There is also get engaged, which means to formally agree to marry someone. They got engaged last Christmas means he proposed and she accepted, and eventually they get married. These are milestone phrasal verbs in life stories.
Communication relies heavily on get phrasal verbs. When you understand a joke or a concept, you get it. For example, if someone tells a joke and you don't laugh, they might ask, "Do you get it?" Meaning, do you understand? If you finally understand after someone explains, you say, "Oh, now I get it."
When you want to communicate an idea clearly, you get your point across. For example, I tried to explain the problem to my boss, but I couldn't get my point across. Means your explanation failed. In arguments, people often struggle to get their feelings across because emotions interfere with clear communication.
Another useful one is get through to someone, which means to successfully communicate with someone who wasn't listening or understanding. I finally got through to my teenage son and made him understand the importance of studying. It can also mean physically reaching someone by phone. I tried to call you, but I couldn't get through.
There is also get over something, which has a communication aspect. If you are explaining a complex topic, you need to get the message across, meaning ensure the other person understands what you mean.
Let's talk about challenges and difficulties. Get over is extremely common and means to recover from something difficult, like an illness, a breakup, or disappointment. It took me months to get over my ex-girlfriend. Means it took time to heal emotionally or health-wise. I can't get over this cold. It has lasted 2 weeks.
Another challenge-related verb is get through, which means to successfully deal with a difficult period or complete something hard. How did you get through that stressful exam period? Or in the workplace, I have so much work to do. I don't know how I will get through it all.
When you face obstacles, you need to get around them, which means to find a way to avoid or solve a problem. The road was blocked, so we had to get around it by taking a different route. In a non-physical sense, the new policy is strict, but I think we can get around it by submitting the form early.
And when you achieve something after effort, you get ahead, which means to make progress or advance, especially in your career. If you want to get ahead in this company, you need to work hard and network.
The workplace is full of get phrasal verbs. When you are assigned a task, you need to get on with it, which means to continue doing something without delay. Your boss might say, "Stop chatting and get on with your work."
If you start working on a project, you get down to something, which means to start doing serious work. After coffee break, I need to get down to writing that report. It implies focusing and becoming productive after procrastinating.
When you finish work for the day, you get off work or get out of work. What time do you get off work today? Or if you manage to avoid doing something you were supposed to do, you get out of it. I got out of attending the boring meeting by saying I was sick.
However, that is slightly dishonest. A better work-related phrasal verb is get promoted, which means to advance to a higher position. She worked so hard that she got promoted to manager within 2 years.
Get phrasal verbs are excellent for describing emotions. When you become annoyed or irritated, we say you get annoyed, get angry, or get upset. These all follow the pattern get plus adjective. For example, my dad gets angry when people drive badly.
Positive emotions work the same way. You can get excited about a holiday, get happy when you receive good news, or get worried when someone is late. I get nervous before public speaking is another example. It describes a change of state or a developing feeling.
There is also get carried away, which means to become so excited or involved that you lose control or do too much. I got carried away shopping and spent too much money. It implies you went overboard.
And when life becomes overwhelming, you might get stressed out or get burned out. These describe reaching a state of exhaustion. I am getting burned out from working 12-hour days.
One fundamental meaning of get is to obtain or receive something. Get by itself can mean to receive. I got a letter from my friend, or she got a new job. But combined with particles, it becomes more specific.
For example, get hold of means to obtain something that is difficult to find or to contact someone. I have been trying to get hold of you all day means I have been trying to reach you, or this book is rare. It is hard to get hold of.
When you obtain something without paying, you get something for free. And if you collect someone or something, you pick up. Thou pick is the verb. It is worth noting. But with get, you get in supplies or deliveries, We need to get in more stock before the weekend rush.
If you arrange or organize something, you get something together. Let me get my thoughts together before the presentation means to organize mentally or physically. I need to get my documents together for the meeting.
Some get combinations are idiomatic and don't translate literally. Get real is a command meaning be realistic or stop being naive. If someone has unrealistic expectations, you might say, get real. That will never happen.
Another is get lost, which literally means to not know where you are. I got lost trying to find your house. But rudely, you can tell someone to get lost, meaning, go away. I don't want to talk to you. It is quite impolite.
There is get a life, which is a sarcastic insult meaning find something meaningful to do with your time. If someone criticizes you for a trivial reason, you might think, but not say, get a life.
A nicer idiom is get the hang of something, which means to learn how to do something after practice. I am getting the hang of using this new software means you are starting to understand it after struggling initially.
We have covered an enormous amount today. Let's systematically review the most essential get phrasal verbs we discussed.
Get up, wake up and leave your bed. Get dressed, put clothes on. Get ready, prepare yourself. Get going, start moving or leaving.
Get into enter a small vehicle. Get on board a large vehicle like a bus. Get off, exit a vehicle. Get to arrive at a destination.
Get along, have a good relationship. Get together, meet socially or start a relationship. Get engaged, agree to marry. Get married, have a wedding ceremony.
Get it, understand something. Get your point across, communicate successfully. Get through to someone, make someone understand.
Get over, recover from illness or emotional pain. Get through, survive a difficult period. Get ahead, make progress or advance.
Get on with, continue doing something. Get down to start serious work. Get out of, avoid doing something.
These are the absolute essentials for B1 and B2 learners.
We have really gotten through a lot today. I hope you got the hang of these phrasal verbs and can now get your ideas across more naturally in English.
Remember, the key is practice. Try to use at least 3 of these in conversation this week. Get on with it, and don't get discouraged if you make mistakes.
In our next episode, we will tackle another verb family. Until then, keep getting better at English.
Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.